No! Piece of shit. The suspense is killing you, isn't it? Huh? 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 We're just waiting for Zelius, so give him but a little time. And we should do it. Actually, I want to see if this still works. If I can find it. See if this works. Yep, here we go. Go! Video games changing for the good? Question mark. Thank you. That's what we should have been doing tonight. But sadly, yet another missed opportunity to get some awesomeness in S12. In all seriousness, though, that MomoCon should have been this weekend, and it makes me très sad. Hold on, let me turn off this so you don't have to hear the dialing noise. Ah, la 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 la. And Zelius is out there. Sir. What to do, what to do. So many things to talk about, so little time to talk about. It's very, very difficult for me to talk about these things that I don't want to talk about, but there's so much to talk about, so we're going to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it right now. And if you are able to decipher that, ladies and gentlemen, you are in the minority. And you're amazing. Yes, that's right. I do babble. I do all those things. I was going to say gabble, but I don't think gabble's really a word. Globble? Glipply glop? Actually, since I have this moped, let me check to make sure that all the chat streams are working. This is for Twitch. This is for the YouTube. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. And finally. One, two. Ooh, that's actually really fast. Looks like YouTube is the one lagging behind today. It's okay. We forgive. Yes, we forgive. Oh boy. I know. We should have been at MomoCon today. I can make Philly noises too. I am very sad that there is no MomoCon tonight, because it would have been awesome. What's up, Red Blades? Yo, yo! It would have been so awesome if MomoCon was tonight. Or this whole weekend. But I'm going to have to make do with something else. Well, that's nice. I'm actually, for once, my family trying to plan a vacation over this weekend is actually going to work out because I have to give them the eat shit and die look every single time. They're like, oh yeah, let's do something over Memorial Weekend. I'm like, I don't do things over Memorial Weekend. I do MomoCon. Y'all want to go do some? Go do it. But I'm not coming. I'm sorry. But I literally, I think until like last year and then this year, I think I'd been like 6 or 7 MomoCons in a row, maybe even 8. I don't know. It was the first MomoCon I went to was in one of the, might have been the Marriott Marquis, I think. I can't remember. But it seems like it should be the Marriott Marquis. It feels right. Deep down in my soul. But who knows? Who the hell knows? Actually, come to think of it, I think that's the only MomoCon. That's the only MomoCon I actually attended. Wait, have I actually attended a MomoCon without doing a panel? I think I did. I think I've done it once, the very first time. And then my buddy was like, hey, dude, I've got this friend. His name's Stucky, and he's looking for people to do panels. Would you be interested in a panel? I'm like, yeah. And then All Too Confusion's been doing panels ever since. MomoCon is what created the All Too Confusion panel monster. I'm pretty sure. I think that might have been my first panel. Well, my first convention panel. No. Yeah, I mean, I've given, I guess, talks. Make people think that I'm smarter than they are. It's not true. It's all a lie. But yeah. Actually, if I remember correctly, I think I grabbed an audience member for the panel because my co-host couldn't make it. 2012. Oh, Jesus. Really? Yeah, I guess so. 2012. Wow. I feel so old now. Oh, my bones are aching and cracking. Actually, there's a quick. Let me see if I actually posted it. The first time I did a panel for MomoCon. I'm pretty sure I did, but I just want to double check. Because my co-host for that, all your old emails, nice. My co-host was actually a friend of mine named Blaine. Destruction of the game industry as we know it. Yeah, buddy. Blaine was there. He was with like a. He was with crap. I'm blanking on. He's one of those promo people. Marketing, advertisement stuff, and there's got to be a way to get through these damn pages faster. Wow, that is a very old. You said 2012. There's definitely got to be a way faster way to do this. But yeah, I grabbed him. I was like, hey, my guy's not going to be here. Come. He's like, I don't know anything about video games. Like, dude, you literally are marketing for video games. He goes, but I don't know what to talk about. I'm like I do? Okay, let's see here. There's a MomoCon. There's a Kanuga. There's Siege. MonsterCon. There's MomoCon. Again. Nope, still got to go back. Good Lord. I've done a couple of, interviews and panels in my day. Where's that? I apparently do not have that video. I wish I did. But I apparently do not have, unless it wasn't attached to a playlist, which could have very well been. Let's see. Let's see here. Here is, wow, okay. No. It wasn't the first year that I had my buddy as the panelist. Because this one was 2014. So yeah, let's see here. That's gotta be right there. March 29th, 2013. The destruction of the game industry as we know it. Title of, let's see, I know that there have been some that have been dying to get their hands on this video for our panel at MomoCon. So here it is for your YouTube viewers. Enjoy. Yeah, boy, how time flies. And look at how much hair I had. Damn it. When's the last time I did a Destruction Against the Industry as we know it? I think it's, wow. Apparently 2015. And then it morphed into video games change for the good? Question mark. Which that right there actually really pulls the heartstrings, because I got all of the MomoCon crowd to go. Here it is one more time for those people who missed it the first time. Go! Video games changing for the good? Question mark. Thank you. Yeah. I love it. Oh, hold on. I think I have Zelius now. One sec. Hold on, let me actually unmute you so people can hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, I found Zelius.
Am I in the right place?
Yes.
Are we talking about like games and stuff where people do things?
Yes, yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, yes. Shall we start?
I thought you'd already started because you are the man, the myth, the legend of Cox.
That's not a good choice of words, sir. No, I was just reliving some nostalgia. But we'll get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin the show. Zelius.
We're going to get into your Cox?
Okay, seriously? Zelius, do you have yourself a drink, or have you already been drinking?
I'm just reading your shirt. You're the one who's advertising it.
Atlanta Rain.
I actually don't see Atlanta Rain. I literally...
Oh, my Lord. Okay.
I actually don't see it.
Okay, he's been drinking, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just start the show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Dishealthy Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Greetings and salutations, good sir, of the Alta Confusions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Thursday Night Hangout. So that makes me your co-host, Charlie, and that over there is the Politicomer himself, Zelius. And as weird as it is, this is the... Here, hold on. There, okay, guys? Jeez almighty, people making fun of my damn shirt. This, of course...
I'm sorry for reading.
This is, of course, the Thursday Night Hangout. This is the second year straight where we are where we're not supposed to be. Does that sound right?
We're supposed to be at a place still in the Atlanta area, but not in the actual basements or living rooms of our respective houses.
Exactly. We should be somewhere where we have lots of like-minded individuals talking and asking us questions about video games and all that other stuff. I have been told that my first panel for MomoCon, or the first email for my first panel, I guess, 2012.
Yep.
So thank you, Red Blades, for making it feel really old. But yeah.
Well, man, you're not getting any younger.
No, I made the comment like, holy crap, look how much hair I had back then. It's only 9 years, and my hairline's basically come from here to back here.
Sounds like you need to go back in time and borrow some from your younger self.
It's called stress. Anyways, so,
Wow, it really is getting worse weekly.
Yeah. Anyways, so, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Thursday Night Hangout. This is a show for you where we try our best to cover the topics that you want us to talk about. Of course, if you have not had a chance to add your topic to the conversation, all you got to do is drop it in one of the chat windows. It goes into our chat box, and then, of course, we can talk about it there. Now, this week's subject, I should say, actually came about because I started playing Mass Effect Trilogy, the Legendary Edition.
Oh, you've already drinking the Kool-Aid?
Yes, and this question actually comes from one of our longtime fans, Jay Stebbs.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is, so you've got these, like, the legendary editions, the remasters, all that stuff.
Yes.
When you're if you're going to buy back in to a series that's however old uh, Mass Effect is, I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm still baffled by the fact that it's been 9 years since my first Momocon panel. But anyways, what exactly are you expecting in since the beginning of Mass Effect and now?
I'm expecting two things.
Yep.
One is better graphics. Obviously, I think that's probably a given that most people have accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the second is improved, probably, abilities in gunplay. And I don't mean revamping it and being like, you know what, we're no longer going to have a Vanguard. We're just fleeing that class altogether because it's overpowered. What I mean by
2007.
what's that?
2007 was when it's first released.
2007.
Mm-hmm.
So what I mean by that is maybe if there do need to be a little bit of balance of powers without actually eliminating powers, I don't see an issue with that. I think what also would not be the worst thing is if they had to. So you had between different Mass Effects, you had slightly different takes on the gun ammo situation in terms of did it overheat? Did you have bullets? So there was a little bit of differentiation in the games and how they handled that part of it. And I could see some logic to making a more cohesive gun ammo management system. Because chances are, if you're playing the Legendary Edition, you might play 1, 2, or 3, and it could be a little bit disjointed if you go from like one type of ammo management to the next one, the next game. Whereas in the Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, in the original iterations, usually people are going years in between playing it. So it's like, I don't remember what the previous one was like when it comes to ammo. So I think those would probably be kind of be the two things for me, which that one I don't really care about, honestly. Like if they didn't do anything at all to the gameplay, okay. For me, it's really the biggest thing I'm looking for, like, would be graphics. Like if they don't improve the graphics, that would kind of defeat the whole purpose of playing it again, honestly, at this point.
Right. Seeing as I've already jumped into this pool, I could tell you a little bit about Mass Effect. First of all, the Mako driving is amazing. I know that was like Zelius's staple thing, the must-do thing in Mass Effect.
Wait, but if it's actually good, I don't want to play it.
No. The Mako is as awesome as you remember, I'm sure. I have accidentally had the camera pointed in the wrong direction, and it just started driving in a weird thing until I could kind of like reorient myself.
So it's actually still terrible.
Yeah, sure, yeah. No, but okay. So for me, the right out of the box, okay, or right off the bat, the thing that I have to say that Mass Effect immediately kind of trips and falls on its face is that so I bought it through Steam.
Yep.
You have to have Epic Origin installed on your computer in order to play Mass Effect. So
even though you bought it through Steam.
Yes. So
Okay.
you load it through Steam, and then Origin, you have to have an Origin account. So it goes through Steam, and it locks on, and then it logs you into Origin, and it brings you to a like a one menu screen where it's like Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And then you could select it, whatever. But of course, I'm a little bit OCD, just a little bit. And in that selection screen, you can use the controller on a PC. I've got it on the PC. So you can use the controller. So I select Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 1 for the PC does not use a controller. It does not even recognize a controller.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So you can't use the controller with Mass Effect 1 on the PC?
Correct. Believe me, I was like, but I was like, okay, well, I guess it's, I guess it's keyboard and mouse for me. I'm like, this is gonna be weird.
That's dumb. I mean, makes no sense. since you can obviously use the controller on the consoles.
Yeah, absolutely. You would
Like,
think that it would be okay.
that's
Hold
kind
on.
of insane, actually.
I'm trying to stop my programmer brain from going nuts, but it's the same freaking thing. If it played on the 360 with a controller, it will work on a Microsoft PC because it's probably going to use the same drivers. Anyways, so yes, you cannot use a controller.
That's actually mind blowing, like
Yes,
in a bad way.
yes. So I've been playing the first one, trying to remember how to do everything, and I feel like I don't know. As a result of not being able to use the controller, I'm having to like learn all of the hotkeys that I'm sure are standard in many a third-person shooter. But I don't usually do mouse and keyboard. Um, so it's been I've had to I've had to look at the instructions, Zelius. I know as a gamer
Oh,
that's
here.
it's terrible, but yeah. Well, it only took me like 6 or 7 times of hitting okay, escape to get to the menu, and then click on map to bring up the map before I was like, you know what? I bet you M is the map key. And ta-da!
So I'm looking on like websites, and they say they support controllers. You have to have the correct controller?
I tried. It does not recognize the controller at all.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, so I've been playing a lot of that. It's there's a lot of stuff that's happened. Um, I mean, it's been a long time since I've watched or played this game, so I'm scratching my head a lot. I'm like, really? Is that how that went? Is this really? What does it say? Zelius?
I mean, it says that that was one of their favorite things about Legendary Edition is it supports the
Clear
control.
design for controllers.
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba. I will go. I'll pop back in there after the show, but I swear to God that it's not. I mean, my controller's right here.
So
It
it
is
also
powered
says,
on.
so
If
the
I try,
actual website for
Mhm.
EA.com says PC updates. Enjoy a modernized PC experience across all 3 games with native controller support.
then apparently this, which is the generic, 360 uh, third-party controller, is not
I wonder
working.
if that's why. I don't know if it doesn't like the fact it's third party,
I don't know. All I know is that
which is still dumb.
yeah, absolutely. I'll figure it out then.
Just,
Anyways,
I don't know.
so I'm still like, okay, so 2007, and now we're in 2021,
Are we?
and yeah, and the number of random ass like load screens,
Hmm.
like they don't last very long, but it's still like they pop up for like 3 seconds and go away, but it's still uh, like I'm pretty sure that everyone's computer could take, have enough processor power to do that shit in the background, and you wouldn't have to see the loading
Yeah.
screen. The other
And that's
thing,
kind of a big deal, especially like in the world of like MMOs.
yeah,
Like if they're released with load screens, people are like, "What the hell, man?"
no, but the crazy thing is, okay, so uh, as I've said multiple times, Zelius's favorite part of Mass Effect is the Mako, and for those of you who don't know, Mako is basically it's this big ass like all terrain vehicle tank that you can put on certain planets and you go explore. There are certain planets. They're not big, but there are certain planets that a load screen will flicker while you're driving because it's loading in the next part of the map, which to me makes no sense because clearly we're at the point where you could probably have 4 of those on the screen at one time and not have to load. So they definitely did not streamline the loading.
Which is ironic because I don't remember playing on the Xbox. I think I played all the Mass Effects on the 360 actually.
Same here.
And I don't remember any loading screens once I got to the planet itself.
Yeah, I don't really recall. I know that, usually I got, you get a loading screen when you're changing star systems,
Sure, yeah.
and then you'd have the awkward sort of load screen where you're riding an elevator in the
Oh,
Citadel.
that long one where you like they tried to cover up the really long
No,
ride with
but here's the funny thing:
news.
you could skip that.
Oh,
It
all
gives
the
you an
load.
option to skip it, yet you can't skip any of the other load screens, which I would think, like the Citadel. Okay, here's a great example.
You put so much work into that one load
The
screen.
Citadel is at least twice the size of this one planet that was driving around,
Sure.
and you don't have. There's no extra load time required to walk around the whole Citadel.
But in the planet, you have load times.
Yeah.
That's,
It's just bad programming. It's like, well, the bitmap and the textures, then no.
really, Rose? Hold on. She's opening up random stuff on my computer.
Fantastic. Okay. So, anyways, so I'll be so.
But how does the game play itself?
Not bad. So in this legendary version of the game, they did release a legendary leveling up system.
Ooh.
So the original game, you went from level 1 to 60. The legendary version goes 1 to 30. It basically just doubles up on everything.
Okay, interesting.
And it's okay. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the combat's changed a little bit, but it's been so long since I played the first that I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
it really, it's real time, third person shooter,
Yep.
which I felt like there was.
I feel like there was like a little bit of pausing, like when you went
Yeah.
into your skill wheel. I feel
Yeah.
like it gave you a second to think about it.
I mean, technically, yeah, you could pop up this menu that basically said, it shows you what should this person change their gun, or do you want them to use a special ability? But I felt like there was something more to it. But anyways, been playing that. But the question that was asked was, okay, so you have this, of course, the re-release or remastering or legendary, whatever. And Zelius, you said you want was it streamlined play and better graphics, right?
Yep.
So there are many examples of like re-releases. Of course, you have the infamous Chrono Trigger approach, and that is we just throw that shit on everything. We don't actually do anything about it.
Every platform ever, you get it, you get it, and you get it.
There are also
Your mini fridge is gonna get it.
Jesus.
You walk around to get a beer, and you have to beat the next level to get another beer.
My toaster plays. No, but okay, so you've got that. Then, of course, you got Final Fantasy VII, which took forever for a re-release, but now they're doing episodic content and they're fleshing out the story.
See, that's like more than a re-release. Like that's like a remaster almost.
Okay.
Like you got like different levels. Like a
Agreed.
remaster to me is basically like we're just improving what is already there without substantially changing anything. Whereas it seems like with Final Fantasy VII, they're actually like there's some substantially changing things in the game more so than just the graphics overall.
Agreed. And it's like, I don't know, they not only did a graphics overhaul, but I mean they've really streamlined some stuff, and then also they've filled the gaps, or they've been attempting to fill the gaps with the story. Now, of course, the downside is it's not all one game. It's episodic, so you're gonna you're not gonna be able to fly through the game, even though I'm sure it's gonna take hundreds of hours. But you got that. Then you also have there's also instances of like basically a rebundle of the trilogy with all DLC.
Well, that was what just came out. It's one of the D&D like Dark Alliance or one of those.
Neverwinter.
Yeah, it was like one of the Neverwinter. It was a great PS2 game. Like that just came out a week or two ago in the consoles, and it's not even a remaster. It's like the original PS2 version. Which okay, sure. I mean, they didn't call it a remaster. So you have that approach, which is literally like, well, here are the original graphics and everything. Nothing has changed.
Okay, so see, I understand the desire to port something, from one platform to another within like a generation, or
Sure.
maybe the generation and the following generation of wherever that game is released. But when you're basically just porting it to a system that is now, I don't know, 5 generations removed, I think that it's got to have some, it's got to be more than just the game.
Well, I think it also depends on the type of game. So, like, I recently, for old kicks and giggles, I started playing a little bit of Majesty.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that works because it's a strategy game. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
nice graphics are wrong, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it's also good if the gameplay is still good enough that it stands up.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was not a game predicated on the graphics. So, versus an RPG, no matter how good the gameplay, I think in that way we become so spoiled with games with phenomenal graphics for RPG. I think that becomes a little bit more jarring when you play a game that was has that kind of 3D type of graphics, and you try playing it nowadays. It's like, whoa, wait a second.
Right,
Um,
and I think that's fortunately or unfortunately, I think that's why Chrono Trigger could get away with it, because they do 2D sprites. It's
yeah,
not a 3D rendering, and they've improved the number of polygons or shading techniques or something like that. But that being said, once again, I when you're bringing out a new something, actually improve upon it. There was a couple of game bundles that you could get through Steam. Oh shit, it was a while ago, but from like some like old school uh, Sierra Entertainment, like point click adventure games. And if you tried to run them on your computer, they would go batshit nuts, because they didn't have there was nothing in place to kind of you know
mhm.
fake your system into playing it like an old computer, and the graphics were fucked up and all that stuff. So, like, if you're going to re-release something, especially on a newer system of the same platform, making sure it actually works, please.
Well, that's like what they're doing with Diablo 2. Is that's a true remaster, but it's like the opposite end of Final Fantasy VII,
Mm-hmm.
where their goal is to not literally change anything in the game. They're making like some quality of life improvements, but even like the underlying movement architecture of how your character moves is not changing. And how the spells are cast and like the way they move and hit frames and all that stuff. They're keeping all the underlying like math and all that stuff the same. It's really literally just a graphical improvement of the game, um, which I think is cool.
I mean, it is cool, but you would hope that, I mean, the deep desire of any you know gamer looking for nostalgia is, one, being able to play the game again, which is a
Yep.
huge bonus point there. But also, they want it in their mind. It looks more. It looks similar to nowadays games than what it actually looks like. So when you played Mass Effect in 2007, you thought, oh man, it looks great. So in your mind, you're like, oh, it's a great looking
Mhm.
game. Even 13 14 years, 14 years later, you think, oh man, it's a good looking game. If you were to go back, you'd be like, oh man, that's not all that good looking. Um, but so you're hoping that you're going to get the ability to kind of, I don't know, falsify your memories when they give you a graphical overhaul. Um,
You know what a game I really wish you'd remake
what's that?
is Dungeon Siege.
The first one, not
That's
the second one.
one of my what's that?
The first one, not the second one.
Yeah, well, second one's okay. The third one became trash. It was like, yeah, first
Hey,
one
that
was
sounds
nice.
like Lord of the Realms.
Second one was okay, still playable. And third one was yeah, poop. Uh, okay, so I have a side rant.
Yeah.
I actually watched the Dungeon Siege movie finally.
Uh huh. In the Name of the King.
Yes, it's. I mean, it's not high cinema, but it's also not the actual worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, everybody's always made it out to be like, this is the absolute worst movie ever. It's absolutely terrible. I thought it was entertaining. I mean, I'm not saying it was something I would recommend necessarily, but I enjoyed it. It was 2 hours of mindless movie. Um, yeah.
Rainblade says that was the only movie I've ever walked out of.
Okay. To be fair, if I paid whatever inflation is for a movie theater ticket, okay, that would be different. I will grant you that. But for a stupid Amazon Prime movie that I'm just having a beer or two, whatever.
I
It was fine.
I think I've only walked out of a movie twice in all my years, and one time was not up to me. It was the people I was with.
mm,
They got too scared, so the parents took us away from the movie theater. And the second one was just absolutely batshit nuts movie that didn't make any sense. And me and my friends were just like, "F this, we're out of here." And it had I want to say it had Bill Murray in it.
well, the funny thing is you look at the name of the king. It has like Jason Statham, John Rhys Davies, Ron Perlman,
Mhm.
Matthew Lillard. It has people who like know how to act.
Yes.
That's what's really fun to me. It's not like a bunch of like B name scrubs. It's people who actually do stuff. You know what I mean?
hmm
So that's what's even more entertaining to me.
the movie I walked out of was the Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, which was just I don't know. There are certain movies out there that people are like, oh my god, it's so amazing, it's mind blowing, to change your life. And the only way it changes my life is I'll never watch that again. Thank you. That's one of them, and the other one, and I get lots of hate for this one from certain circles. I do not and will not ever like what's considered by many the greatest movie of all time, Citizen Kane. Dear Jesus, that's a boring ass movie.
Never seen it.
Spoiler alert, it's a fucking sled.
Never seen it. Don't really have much of a desire to.
Don't. Unless you're a film student, you don't ever have to see that movie. And even if you are a film student, it's there's better examples of the freaking mirror hallway that is supposed to be legendary because he's walking down a mirrored hallway, but you don't see the camera and the reflection. Woo!
Clearly, you're not impressed by highbrow cinematography.
It, whatever. Anyways, so there was an announcement recently that Dead Space trilogy is coming out as well, which of course Mass Effect, aliens in space and Dead Space, alien horror in space. Well, I say that. The first two were. The third one was not. I don't look if you have a franchise or a set of games that is a specific type of genre, if you're going to make a sequel to that because it was successful the first time around, why would you change the genres or remove part of the genre? It'd be like Mass Effect. The first two were science fiction, military science fiction, space opera, third-person role-playing shooter. The third one is a match 3 card game.
That's a brilliant idea. You're hired, sir.
Or let's get a little bit more realistic here. Mass Effect 3. Let's see here. They keep the science fiction. They remove the military from it. It's now a first-person shooter instead of a third-person shooter, and your choices no longer matter.
I was going to say it became a real-time strategy game, basically StarCraft.
That's it.
If you think about it,
I think it's Halo War.
It's the fight against the Reapers, right? So it's actually works. It's also instead of fighting the Zerg or the Protoss, either the one you can just kind of change the assets. And actually, it's not. It's just StarCraft 2 Part 4 with a new mod.
Yeah, basically. But anyways, so the reason why I say this is that Dead Space 1 and 2 is sci-fi, horror, third-person shooter because I think it's right over the shoulder. And it was like freaky. It was one of those games that potentially, because of course when these type of games come out, I like to play with all the lights out just so I could scare the shit out of myself. Like that, whatever that was, Delius.
It's just the cat. It's fine.
Yeah. But so the first two, that's, lots of dark spaces, lots of crawling things off the screen, and then pop, boom, amazing. Third one, they're like, yeah, so it's a science fiction game, third person, and it's got scary monsters, but we're gonna leave all the lights on, all of them. And just for shits and giggles, even in very well lit rooms, we're gonna light candles.
So do you think they're going to change Dead Space 3 at all substantially, or just leave it as it is?
My guess is they're probably just going to leave it as it is. They'll probably give it a little bit of a graphical overhaul and then keep it the way that it is. I in my own selfish, wish and desire, they turned the fucking lights off of the third game so that I could actually have the experience that I had for the first two.
I'm still waiting for a remake of Jade Empire.
Yep. Well, yeah, Jade Empire and KOTOR,
Yeah.
basically right back to back
Well,
to back
finished
each other.
KOTOR 2 officially.
Huh?
Officially finished KOTOR 2.
Oh, there you go.
Well, because they've already gone. I mean, because they've already released KOTORs on the. You can play it on your iPhone now.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably figured they're fine on that area.
Yep. But yeah, I think, okay, so riddle me this, ladies and gentlemen, and Zelius as well. If you're doing like a re-release, a remaster, whatever, an uber awesome edition, does your idea, or your, I guess, your opinion, what your expectations, does it change to what all is if? Blah, blah. Do you expect more shit to change if it's just a single game, or more shit to change if it's like a series of games that basically build up on top of each other? So, like, if I were to do Mass Effect,
deep question, man.
If like Mass Effect 3, or would you just be set? I mean, it's just a graphical overhaul, okay? But if let's say that it was just I know that this was I guess was a terrible game. I never played it, but Mass Effect Andromeda, they overhaul like a bunch of the mechanics, maybe flesh out the story.
Mass Effect Andromeda was not a bad game.
I don't know. I've never played it.
It really wasn't that bad. It just was a little bit rushed compared to the other ones, but it was a fine space opera game that they just didn't finish. Because that's what happens at BioWare/EA nowadays. Single player, so it's not a real game, man.
Right. So, but the question is, I guess, are you more willing to just have, like, if it's a re-release, if it's like a combination of a couple games, are you just okay with like a graphic overhaul, or are you looking for huge differences, or is just simply bringing out a single very popular game with just a graphical overhaul okay? Or are you expecting, I guess, more love and attention since it's a single game instead of a trilogy?
I haven't really thought about this, man. These are too deep of questions.
All right.
I think it just depends on the game. I mean, like playing, what's that stupid game that I was playing on the Switch the other day? It's that Age of Reckoning. Am I thinking the right name of the game?
Is that Amalur? Keys of Amalur?
Yeah. Talking about. Like, it was basically just re-release, which I'm fine with, because also I never played the original, so I don't even know what the red is supposed to. I don't know. So for me, it's fine. I think it's all about what is a big part to me is the messaging of the developer.
Mm-hmm.
So when they release the game, is it basically like a bait and switch almost, where this is what we're releasing? It's either A, graphical, overhaul, or B, it's like a Final Fantasy VII, where they're changing a lot of the content, are they also upfront about that? Versus do you get this, remastered game, and it's like, oh, we changed all the stuff, but we're hoping you won't actually notice.
Okay,
Uh,
so as long as they're upfront and you can basically temper your expectations.
yeah,
Uh,
so like Final Fantasy VII, when they changed some of the stuff in the game,
mhm,
like Square Enix gave reasons and rationale for doing it.
mhm.
So it's like, okay, that makes sense. But then you got Blizzard with Diablo 2, and they gave very specific reasons for why they didn't change anything in the game.
Because
It's,
they got rid of Blizzard.
well, I think it's terrible reasoning, but that's okay. But at least they were upfront about it. Versus, and I think that is a little bit different than when you just release your game, like the Chrono Trigger, on every single platform known to man, just because you can.
Yeah, I, and I agree with you. I think that as long as I have an understanding of exactly what is going to be in this re-release or remastering or whatever, I think that that's okay. But the problem is that it's too often they don't really spell it out for you, and so your brain goes into overdrive of, you know what, I bet you they're going to do this because that was, lacking in the game, or they're going to do a graphical overhaul, or maybe beautify some of the places, or switch out some of the mechanics, because in your brain you're going, that was the one thing that I didn't like about the game. And if they're just like, oh yeah, we're going to re-release it for the new consoles, but we're not going to tell you what we're doing, I think that's where I get, a little bit, I guess, pissy.
I also haven't really played any remasters, or let me rephrase this: remasters of games I've played before. So like, I don't have Mass Effect, so I've never played that remaster. Like other games that are remasters, kind of like a Legends of Mana for the Switch, I never played the original version.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, sometimes it's basically like a whole new experience, but I never played the OG version anyways. So to me, I really also have nothing to compare it to. It's like with you, you're almost like comparing it the book versus novel. I mean,
Yeah.
the
Yep.
book versus the movie,
Right.
where it's like, wow, they changed this. Whereas to me, I only knew the movie existed, or I only knew the book existed.
Mm-hmm.
So I also don't really have a frame of reference to compare that to necessarily.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
The exception will be probably the Switch. I will get Diablo 2
Mm-hmm.
because that it seems like the perfect go around and mash skeletons on the Switch mobily. Seems like an ideal gaming situation. Um, so that's what probably exception I'll make because that is definitely a very deep and loving part of our youth.
But of course. No, yeah, I mean, I could see that. I think that even if it's, I think I've run across a couple of games that were like re-releases onto a different platform that I think, I've had friends really talk up, about how awesome it was. And then when I actually get to play it for my first time, I sort of have an expectation built up, and it doesn't meet that expectation. But I think for the most part, I think you're right. I think it really is um, where you came into it. Did you play the original, or did you read the original, or did you watch the original? Because that will
Well, I think the
definitely.
bigger problem too is crappy ports. Like,
Yep.
how many terrible ports do you have from the, particularly usually from the console to the PC, is usually where they're terrible. I mean, they'll make it for the console first with a graphical user interface intended for a console.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, usually developing to one or two hardware specifications.
Yep.
So in theory, less buggy. I know it's not always true. But in theory, of less bugs versus then you go to the PC and it's, the Wild West. And so that seems like, if anything, that's where you have your issues is we have this great console version and you can purchase it on PC, but don't ask us to fix any bugs.
Well, I think it goes in the other way as well. You've got, there was a time where a lot of the very popular PC games were being ported over to console, and a lot of these PC games were the type where you needed to have, hotkeys and the use of your mouse, to do like uh, off the top of my head. I'm thinking like a real time strategy where
Oh yeah,
you
I do.
on the PC, you drag you click and drag to select all your units, which of course you can't do on a console because you don't have that ability. And so they're like, oh, you could play this on the console, and then you start attempting, and you're like, yeah, can I really play that though? I don't know.
Yeah, I remember I tried playing on the PS5 was Path of Exile.
Mm-hmm.
I did not enjoy that experience at all because it's very you have so many different like materials and gems. You're always getting loot, and you have to play a lot of inventory Jenga to try to or inventory Tetris really. So you're not going to tell it so you can TP every 10 items instead of 5 items.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And trying to do that on the console was infuriating. I'm like, this is obnoxious.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's anytime that you have to constantly do, the thing is, it's one thing to just have like a limited space inventory, like you're only allowed to have 20 items in your book bag.
Yep.
But it's a whole different thing to say you're only allowed to have 20 squares in your book
Yep.
bag, where some weapons are 2 and helmets are 4 and shields could be 4 or 8. And then that, and of course,
actually really annoys me when games do that. Like, I get it. It's the immersion part. We all realize a shield is larger than a wand. We know that in our heads. But it just really annoys me because from a fundamental game power perspective, there's like no difference between a two-handed sword and a wand because for different classes and different needs. So just the fact that they still do that is like it's more infuriating than the fact it's a little bit immersion breaking. I get that. But from an actual game quality of life perspective, it pisses me off.
Look, if you're going to go that way, just do weight, okay?
I'm fine with that too.
But if you're going to do the
same thing with weight though, where a hammer weighs 20 pounds and a wand's 1 pound.
Yeah.
That's why some games I go magic user because of that fact alone.
Well, usually when you have a magic user, their capacity is lower, unless you got there's ways to iron it out. But the thing that pisses me off the most with the the inventory Tetris, Jenga, whatever you want to call it, is there are certain items like a shield that might be on a 2x3 grid, right? But you can't rotate that fucker.
Yes, this is true too.
I just, if I could rotate it, I'd be fine. Okay, I'd be in a much better place. But because it has to be up, down, I would kill somebody.
I had my backpack and I had to fit all this in there. I could rotate it if I had to, man.
Exactly.
I hate it for rotating.
I mean, I know that I'm not a super duper packer, but I know that if this doesn't fit this way, if I turn it a little bit to the side, it might fit.
That is kind of ironic if you think about it. So, okay, so you're not breaking immersion to not make shields smaller. Okay. But if you want to go that step, then by your premise, you're absolutely right. Where make it more realistic because in life, the shield's bigger, but you can also rotate a shield when you pack it. So at least go all in on that fact.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's fair.
I think it's fair as well. But yeah, I don't know how the hell we get on inventory.
Because
on PC and yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna have to check out Mass Effect. I'm very curious to see if it's my controller or the fact that my controller's connected into a USB hub. Although all my other games seem to work fine. So
that's an interesting theory. Yeah, try plugging it first directly and just see if that makes the difference. Is a interesting premise.
Well, at this point, I think I'm just gonna stick with the mouse and keyboard because I put in a couple hours and I'm getting really good at sniping people with the mouse and keyboard. And I don't want to have to dick around with the sensitivities.
Borderlands 3 the other day, and I tried sniping, and I couldn't snipe with the controller. I'm like, I'm done. This is infuriating. Just give me a assault rifle, and I'll just shoot people in the face.
Okay, guys, all you gotta do is just stay still for 3 more seconds. It's like a little bit to the left, a little bit. Nope, too much. A little bit to the right. Up, you move, damn it!
What enemies have to move? It's so overpowered.
That's why, literally, my strategy in a lot of the games, because it takes me forever to line up shots, especially with controller, is I try to find the area of influence box, which basically, once you're within a certain radius, the characters will react, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I try to find what the
Mm.
the maximum distance is and just stand right outside it and then spray bullets and hope that they die.
Nice.
Sometimes some games are smart enough that once he gets hit once, they'll be like, "Oh my god!" and start moving around. There's other games though that the characters will stay there because they haven't been triggered,
Yep.
which are my
Mm.
favorites.
See, super stealthy.
Yeah. Or if you're lucky enough and you have, let's say, the Mako on one of the areas that has like a bunch of people running around, what you're really supposed to be doing is like ducking behind, containers and stuff to attack these people. But if you find a way to get that Mako on top of the mountain and point it down, you just blow everything up with a single shot.
I do enjoy in Borderlands 3 is like trying to trigger. It was much easier, I think, in the first Borderlands,
Mhm.
but trying to trigger the enemy to come attack you while you're in your Jeep.
Actually, my favorite thing in Borderlands 3 was there was an enemy in there that I can't remember the enemy type, but basically it has like a little pail on its head. And if you shot it in the head, it would turn into like this roid out monster and start beating the crap out of anything and everything near it.
Nice.
And so literally I'm like, once again, I'm standing like as far away as possible. I snipe that damn head and it goes at like ape shit, just starts killing all the guys. Like, okay, I'll just good chill right here.
Just gonna wait for you to clean up the mess you made. Good job.
And then hopefully you'll have taken quite a few licks. So when it's my turn, I can knock you out rather quickly.
Already close to that. That's a very
Yeah,
good strategy. I approve, sir.
yeah. But yeah, um, I guess we should do some quick thank yous. Friends of the show, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick second to do some friends of the show because they are awesome, and it's because of these friends that we get to do the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout and many, 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 many other things, such as go to conventions like MobileCon. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's start off with the first one, which actually always has an area at MomoCon, and that, of course, is the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts to challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. If you want more information, that's indiecluster.com.
Yeah.
Now, of course, another another friend of the show, of course, we met through MomoCon yet again, is the one and only Hero Chiropractic. Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore. The company is focused to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They are committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to herochiropractic.com.
Indeed.
He has been my chiropractor since the first time that we met him at MomoCon, so that's been a couple years now, and I can't complain. He helped adjust me just the other day, and man, did I need it. Man, did I need it.
You're free of joint pain now. Happy.
Well, apparently my like all the joints and stuff in my right leg were just jacked.
That's
So
not surprising.
yeah. All right, so since we did those, let's do some Ultra Confusion shout outs real quick. And the first one is, ladies and gentlemen, I know this comes as a surprise to everyone, but Ultra Confusion is proud to say that we have been fundraising for Extra Life for 10 years straight. Extra Life is gamers doing what we do best, game, to help sick and injured children in our chosen Charles Miracle Network Hospital. The money that we raise through Extra Life will go to go directly to our hospital, which of course is Children's Healthcare Atlanta, as unrestricted funds. This means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat. So if you have the capacity to donate, please go to extra-life.org and search for Alter Confusion. And of course, if you want in on this action, you want to game and raise money, all you got to do is go to extra-life.org and you can sign up today.
And right now you are at $175 out of $250 of the milestones to raise.
Yeah, buddy. Still making it. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, I do have to point out that Alter Confusion has a Patreon. And that is so that we can survive on love and support of fans like you. Basically, what Patreon does is it's a monthly membership that allows you, the fans, supporters, lovers, haters, everybody, to become active participants in the work that we try to accomplish. We have two tiers currently. One's a $1 a month tier, which of course would be $12 a year. And the other one is $5 a month, which would be $60 a year. The $1 amount allows you access to all the patron-only posts and early access to all the playthroughs. If you do the $5 level, which of course is the $60 a year, not only do you get early access to the playthroughs and access to all the patron posts, but you also get your organization or name in the thank you section for every single Thursday night hangout. So if you're interested in joining all the patrons that have come before you, all you need to do is go to Patreon. That's patreon.com/altered confusion.
Or if you're on chat, you can always just click the link.
That too. Trying to think if there was anything else I needed to shout out about. Shit. I'm completely blank. I wanted to say something that went up on Discord, but I can't remember what the damn thing was. Give me a second. Uno mementos. I will find it.
I just realized I don't even have Discord on this computer.
Oh, Celius.
Well, I got a new disk drive, so.
Okay. So there was an announcement that J.J. Abrams is going to make a movie off of Valve's game Portal. And in
game I didn't know that I wanted, apparently.
And in my brain, I immediately think that this concept is about as likely to happen as the asteroid movie that was supposed to come out about that old school asteroid game where you're just a ship and you're trying to blow up all the asteroids coming in.
But didn't that actually happen?
They actually started writing a script about two brothers who are asteroid farmers who got lost and were trying to battle their way back home, but they had to destroy all the loose asteroids. But of course that went in the toilet. So my question is, what the hell are you going to do for Portal?
Hey, we got a movie out of Battleship, okay?
Many people would say that's not a movie. Or many people will say that is a movie, but it should have been named Battleship, because I don't remember ever having to deal with alien creatures attacking my boats in the sea.
Apparently, you did not use your imagination when I call on E14.
Oh, Christ. No, I just thought it was straight up war, dude.
Oh. That's the problem, man. In Battleship, there weren't enough like level up mechanics or add-ons you could purchase to further enhance your battleship's radar technique.
Okay.
To give a more immersive gameplay feel.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take this moment. Hollywood, are you listening? Stop fucking putting names of games on your movies if you're not going to stay true to the freaking franchise. You can't just, let's see here. What's the most popular thing right now? Let's do Halo. Let's do Halo. Okay, so once upon a time, there was this guy, Master Chief, but we don't like all that armor because we wanted to see his face. So he's actually wearing a jumpsuit that's green, but not the green that the actual Master Chief wears. It's more like a neon green, and instead of like his assault rifle, he's got a boomerang, and instead of being able to lift tons of stuff, he's actually really fragile. but we're going to call it Halo. Oh, and there's going to be lots of U.S. military that gets warped into some strange reality where no one knows what the U.S. or guns are. And we'll put some token robot in there so we can pull in the Transformer crowd too.
Apparently, at one time, there was a Settlers of Catan movie actually in the works at Sony.
Yep.
I was kidding, but it's real.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why, but I know. That's like literally they're like, oh, this looks like a. There's people in a room that are literally looking at trends, and they're going, okay, it's a hot button name, or you know, in certain circles, it's going to draw attention. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the name. We're not really going to pay attention to what the fuck it is. We're going to slap it on to something, and we're going to make millions because people are like, I know that name. Why do I know that game? I should probably check it out. And then look, we talked about this at the beginning in The Name of the King, which of course is a Dungeon Siege movie. The one thing that you could say about U-Bowl is that he's actually going to keep it within the realm of what the fucking source material is.
There was a farmer.
There was a farmer.
We'll stop there, but there was a farmer.
Like Blood Rain. The weird ass scenes in Blood Rain make no sense whatsoever. The montage. And, you know, Meatloaf as a vampire was interesting.
Well, it didn't help that Blood Rain was not a good actress. We'll just leave it at that.
Ooh, didn't find words. Some people would say that she's a very nice actress.
Well, I mean, there's nice aspects to her actressing.
Aha, ha, ha.
But there are certain parts that were less than optimal. Now, I will grant you that a script certainly does not help the situation.
Well, no, you have to have a script in order for it to help the situation.
This is true. That is a fully factual fact.
Because, yes, come on. Blood Rain had Kristana Loken. It had Michelle Rodriguez. It had Michael Madsen. It had Ben Kingsley, Udo Kier, Meatloaf.
That's what's funny is like he actually gets people who like can act, but then you get the script.
Once again, you have to actually have a script.
I
know. But yeah. So I guess the question is, would you rather have a movie that stays close to source material but kind of falls short, or do you want a movie that has the name of something popular and it's completely off base? Choose your poison.
Meaning that it's going to be better, then
it's going to be an awesome movie, but it will have nothing to do with the franchise that it's supposed to be representing.
Then screw it. Make a good movie. Or give Netflix the anime rights and do both at the same time. Keep close to the source material, and it's actually good.
What? Actually good? Helping out your fans? Never. I'm sorry, that is not the Activision nor EA way of thinking, sir. We just want dollar signs, okay? You want the latest, greatest, whatever game, we're going to give it to you. As long as you don't recognize that we basically changed 3 itty-bitty little things and it's the exact same fucking game and those 3 things don't actually affect the game at all, give us another $60. Oh, and we're going to nickel and dime you for those cosmetic DLC packs because you have to have the pink camo gun skins to really stand out. So when you're teabagging the enemy, they could see it in all its glory.
And to tie into the movie.
Of course.
You can actually only get the skin if you've seen the movie.
Yes, you have to look for a QR code that's hidden in the 5th scene at the 45-minute mark.
It's tied to your tickets.
Oh, now that's just me.
You know.
It's a one-use code that you can find on the back of your movie ticket.
See? Now you're talking about language.
No.
Oh.
No. All right. What? Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've basically reached the end. As much as I would love to chill and hang out because this would be MomoCon time, and that's usually what we would do. Is after we have our panel, we just kind of chill and hang out with all you cool cats. But unfortunately, we've reached the end of the show. There will not be a show next week, unless Zelius wants to do it. But something tells me that Zelius will need a break as much as I will be on break. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zelius, it's been a pleasure getting ready to come our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. Will be back in 2 weeks for another Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother. The Indie Cluster is an organization. Yeah, so I definitely fat-fingered something, and another video, some other video popped up there for half a second.
I didn't see that.
I did, damn it, and that's what all that matters. But just for shits and giggles, here's a shaky camera video that lasts like 5 seconds. So congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, you get to watch this one. Go! Video games changing for the good? Question mark. Thank you. Yay! And now I feel like I'm at MomoCon. No, I don't. But that's memories of MomoCon. Yep. Where's Jesse when you need him? I would love to tell you, but in fear that I might get him in trouble, I will not. But know this. He is not in control of his own destiny.
Are any of us truly in control of our own destiny, or we just beholden to the bits and bytes and entropy that flows around us, and we're just merely passengers on a ride?
How about this? We have the ability to have more control than some.
That's what they want you to think.
Touche, sir. Touche.
Freedom is but an illusion of the weak.
Oh, Zelius, you're making me cry.
I know. That's what I cry myself to sleep every night, saying to myself.
Oh, boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to get back to packing. But for those out there who are curious as to what the playthrough that is happening currently for Ultra Confusion, it is a game called Encodia. If you are a patron, you have access to the first 5 episodes. And I believe there's going to be another 3 posted before, probably before tomorrow night. So if you want to jump in on that awesomeness, you can. By becoming a patron, go to patreon.com/ultraconfusion.
Nice.
Yep. And of course, for those of you in the Atlanta area, you'll be very, very pleased to hear that Zelius and I were able to do something that has been, or we were able to do an activity that's been missing from our repertoire for over a year, and that was we went to Battle and Brew.
Oh, yes, we did. It was glorious indeed.
We had some beers and
some dragon talons.
We had some dragon talons, and we got to watch Atlanta Reign rough up the Houston Outlaws. It was good.
You had a mana potion to liven up your reservoir.
Yes.
Stuff.
I promised that the first time I go to a Battle and Brew, I'm having myself a mana potion. So God darn it, I drank my mana potion first, and then I drank, I think 3 other beers.
You kept true to your word of life.
Yeah. Although it's kind of weird. They're like, here's a straw for your mana potion. I'm like, I can't do it that way.
No.
I can't do alcohol through a straw.
I agree. Unless it's like a Mai Tai.
I don't do Mai Tais.
Neither do I. That's what I see in movies.
Okay, well, just give it to me. I'm going to gulp it. Just.
No, I'll do amaretto sours through a straw.
I don't do amaretto sours. I don't like amaretto.
Oh, I love amaretto.
Sorry. Sorry.
That's what I think about your earphones.
Huh? What?
Nothing.
What's Zelius?
That's what I think about your headphones.
Aha! Suck it! Okay, hold on a sec here.
That's all I got.
Yeah. All right, I am going to... Zelia, stay with me for just a second here. I'm going to try something.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh dear is right. Okay.
I know what you're actually doing because the stream's like 30 seconds behind audio.
Wait, which one are you watching?
The Twitch.
Oh, really? Twitch is that far behind now?
For me, at least, yeah. You're looking for a game to capture.
Yes.
Yes.
I hope this plug-in plays.
Should I see something?
Yeah, hold on. Thanks a lot, Epic.
Still waiting.
Yeah, well, the problem is that it first hits a loader app, so it doesn't actually show anything until you actually select Mass Effect. So you don't see anything, and now it's starting to load Mass Effect in the background.
Still waiting.
All right, Celia, just give me a sec. Here it comes. Hold on.
Giving you a